When making the move between King of Fighters 14 to 15, Rock Howard has seen a number of changes, including the return of his top attack. However, of all the changes he got, the biggest one has to be his level 3. It has two versions, Deadly Rave Neo, which is directly ported from King of Fighters 14, and Deadly Rave Next, it does less damage and offers a brand new mechanic, an install that powers him up in a variety of ways. And today, we're going to look at most of them. Just a disclaimer, I won't be going over the specifics, and I may or may not be aware of every single thing Rock Howard has access to. So it is guaranteed that players will uncover new stuff after this video goes live. It is also possible that the stuff talked about in this video will get removed in a patch. So without further ado, let's begin. The first move is Reppuken. Already the most evident thing about it is that it's seen a damage increase. The light version used to do 60, the heavy version used to do 65, but now both versions do 80. At 80 damage, it is tied with Ash and Yuri for most damaging meterless projectile in the entire game. Not only that, it also gets two new properties. The first one is an OTG, or on the ground attack. This gives you the opportunity to get extra damage after knockdown. So use it after a super, after a hard knockdown, or if your opponent does not tech. Another property that the Geese install adds is increased projectile priority. Typically, meterless projectiles clash, EX projectiles beat normal projectiles, and two EX projectiles clash. However, with the install, priority of Rock's Reppuken is that of an EX move, meaning it eats meterless projectiles and clashes with EX projectiles without ever spending meter. So now, on top of damage, you are given an edge in both neutral and during combos. The next move is Hard Edge. A dashing tackle that is inspired by burn knuckle. The light version does a bit more damage. And in the corner, the juggle is slightly better, so you can land a light or EX rising tackle afterwards. With the heavy version, I can only mention an increase of damage, but this increase is rather significant. It is almost double. The damage increase pretty much overshadows the light version in my opinion. So much so that the only way to surpass it is if you put in meter. Next up, it's Rage Run. Dashing Palm and Dashing Overhead do 20 more damage each. Unfortunately, that's about it. And finally, Shinku Nage, or Geese Throw. As you may know, the EX version of this move has Rock shoot a burst of energy after the throw. The meterless install version of this move, you'll also shoot energy. However, you won't get a wall bounce. Besides OTGs, you cannot get a follow-up after. And performing a break cancel involves giving up the Pillar of Energy anyway. So really it's just extra damage. and extra damage that isn't available to you if you go for a break cancel follow-up. And that's it for Rock Howard's regular special moves. I cannot find anything for Rising Tackle, Crack Counter, and Overhead Kick. So now it's time to move on to Supers and Climax. The only super to actually change is Raging Storm. Both the level 1 and level 2 versions deal extra damage, and just like Reppuken, it also OTGs. And the ability to OTG means you can get silly follow-ups like this. Or cool combos like this. Meanwhile, Shining Knuckle is unchanged. Deadly Rave Neo deals extra damage. Meanwhile, Deadly Rave Next is unchanged. If you already have Geese hands, chances are there is absolutely no reason to do it again. One last thing I want to mention before closing out this video, Rock Howard's install does not carry over between rounds. Like at all. If you defeat your opponent with it, it'll expire and you'll go back to normal once you fight your next opponent.
Burn to fight. Ready, go!
So if you were thinking about popping it early on and playing Geese mode Rock Howard the entire game, I suggest you rethink your strategies. And with that said, that's the whole video. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a nice day!